Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litsa and today is the Hobbii Advent CAL for 2024 week 4 edition. So this is the last week of the Advent calendar. We're doing the crochet version of course, and there is also a knitted version. Now I have been very lucky to be able to bring you a project each week, and thank you each and every one of you for joining me. I really do appreciate that I have someone to share these amazing projects with. Now some of you may have already seen the spoiler alert or the unboxing of the whole 4 weeks, which was done about a couple of months ago now, but as I've said each and every week, I had forgotten pretty much what was in each bag or little tote, and they make great project bags, by the way, because that's what I've been using them for as I'm working on the projects. And it was a nice surprise each and every week when the time came along for the project to be released. Now Hobbii have done an amazing job once again this year, and they asked Tony from TL Yarn Crafts to assist in all the patterns for this amazing CAL. So each and every project has had so many elements that are so uniquely Tony, including Tunisian crochet, and today's project is also a project that includes Tunisian crochet. Now I will talk to you about the yarn that was in this little sack here, but if you want to see what else was in there, please go and watch our unboxing video. And those of you that already have, thank you so much. I know that you've enjoyed it because we've been able to communicate that way, and it's been amazing through the comments. Now in this little pack here, sack, we got 4 yarns, and let me show them to you. So 4 donuts in essence of this gorgeous cotton silk, Friends cotton silk from Hobbii. Now if you haven't used this yarn, I highly recommend it. Now let me tell you some of the stats about this yarn, and then I will show it to you. So each of the donuts, so this is what they look like. I'm connected to this one, so let me unravel it. So each of these little donuts, and we did get 2 of this color and then another 2 different colors, and I'll show them to you. So this yarn here is 78% cotton and 22% silk. So it's quite a luxurious yarn. Now they are 50-gram donuts, that's what I'm calling them. I think that's what they're called. And 120 meters in each one. And it does recommend that you use a 5mm hook, but we did end up using a 4mm hook for the project. And if you can see up close here, it is a twisted yarn. So there's 2, I think it's the 2 fibers like spun together. But that's not an issue at all. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, that's a little bit of a crinkly yarn. I wonder how we'll go crocheting with that, but it is super smooth. As the name implies, cotton silk, it is a very silky, smooth cotton yarn. It doesn't dry your hands out as much as 100% cotton yarn does, including the Hobbii Friends 88 and the, all their cottons. They just, respond just like any normal cotton yarn would, but this is amazingly soft and silky smooth. So if you have the opportunity to get your hands on some of this, please do so. You will really appreciate it. Now I do also have a little side note that this might be a personal preference, but I actually started the other 3 balls or donuts that I'll show you as a center pull. I recommend, after my experience, that you actually start from the outside because it unravels very, very nicely, whereas when you do a center pull, it collapses on itself at least halfway through, and it gets a little bit annoying, especially when you're doing a project like this, which is like you carry your yarns, you don't snip them off. So before we get on to the pattern, so we did say we had 2 of these. I don't know exactly what the color names are on the Hobbii website, but this is like a nice lemon yellow. It's so pretty, right? And then there was this beautiful, almost apricot-y pink color, dusky pink. I'm not sure exactly how you would describe it. It depends on the light that you see it in, but it's more apricot-y, I think. And then this beautiful beige color. And as you can imagine, they complement each other perfectly. But this is what happens, guys, when you center pull. So I do not recommend it. That's not to say that you won't enjoy using it that way. To each their own. I'm not here to preach. I'm just here to share my experiences. Now, Hobbii has done an amazing job of releasing these patterns as free patterns. Now today is Sunday the 23rd of December 2024. I need 2 more sleeps to Christmas Day, guys, and the pattern was released last night here in Sydney, Australia, Sunday the 22nd of December 2024, after 7 p.m. So we're just approaching 7 p.m. now. I have spent about 7 hours on this project thus far, but I do still have a little bit to go. I was hoping to finish this one for you, but I'll explain why, because I really wanted to get it out to you today, seeing as tomorrow is Christmas Eve and I may not have an opportunity to see you. So this is the pattern here. So it's on the Hobbii website and it is called the Camilla bag. And that's what it looks like, guys. It is a lovely, lovely bag. And there it is, the name of it there. So Camilla. So this is the crochet pattern, as we said. And of course, it does have, all the usual, the written instructions. And in here, it also has some photos for you. But as it's a combination of like mainstream crochet and Tunisian crochet, I did rely heavily on the video tutorial by Tony, and once again an excellent tutorial. I could not have managed this project without it, because when you first look at this project you think, oh, okay, that's going to be a simple granny stitch, and in essence the majority of it is. So here it is here. I'm trying to fluff it out, but I can't really. So there we go there, guys. You start at the bottom with a magic ring, and you increase. I think we increased for about from memory 9 rows, and then we continued up to 29 rows, and each row, as you can see, has a color change. But don't be alarmed by that at all, because I will flip it inside out and show you. We actually carry the yarn, and it is a great technique, and that's it. That's what you see on the inside. Just that simple carried all the way across yarn, all the different colors. So you're not snipping off each row and then actually having to sew in the ends. In actual fact, I've kept all my ends to show you so far. And so far, this is it, guys. It's been about 20, what will I call it? Like where you have to sew in the ends, 20 ends to sew in, which is pretty good considering how many color changes we've had. The only thing that I will suggest, if you haven't done color changing before and carrying, I should say, color changing by carrying the yarn, please make sure that when you're actually carrying the yarn, you kind of thread it, like catch it, the next color that you're changing to, catch it inside the yarn from before. I probably can't explain this, but it's very important even when you sew it, because that way you would never know that there's that side where we've carried it all, and on this side you'd never know where it was because you can't see it at all. So that's amazing, I think. And if you actually, which I'm not going to, but if you, I shouldn't say not because you never know, if you line your bag, you would never see that anyway. So you do that for 29 rows. And then you break off your yarn, you sew in your ends, and then you do this little section here. So this bit here, the decreasing, that's about 6 rows there. And again, Tony shows you exactly how to do it. In that instance, you do work in rows. You're not working in the round, so you're actually cutting your yarn off and sewing in those ends. But that's only for 6 rows. And then the scary part starts if you're new to Tunisian crochet, because all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, okay, now we need to Tunisian crochet. But Tony, once again, being the biggest cheerleader out there, she just says, you got this, and you basically believe it and you start. As long as you follow her tutorial, it is the simple stitch, I think that's what it's called in the Tunisian crochet. And yeah, the simple stitch, and you do work in rows going across this way, and in actual fact it's 8 stitches, but when you finish the 16 rows, so it's 8 stitches by 16 rows, and then this is actually double the height, because can you see there's a little hole there? You actually flip it over and sew it on, so there is a little bit of sewing involved, and that's on both sides, of course. And then you think, okay, now it's time for the strap. Well, the strap is also Tunisian crochet, and there is also a stitch which is very difficult for me to do even when I've got bigger yarn, so I didn't attempt it. It's crocheting in the 3rd loop of the single crochet, and it was very tight for me. So I didn't attempt that. Sorry, Tony. That's not a reflection on you, but on me. So what you do then is you start to do, again, this is sideways. So that's your simple stitch Tunisian crochet. And you start off where the, you know, where you're, oh, sorry, let's back up one more. So you do a whole round of single crochet before you do this bar here. That's what Tony calls it. And then you start your handle. Now the handle you connect anywhere on the single crochets. You crochet up as much as you can until you meet the bar. Then you connect it to the bar, and now I've only just started this, but then you do 70 rows. I imagine you could do less or more rows depending how long you wanted your actual handle, and that's something you could judge from the photo. And also, you know, everyone has like we're different heights, we might want it different lengths, our strap. But in essence, you do 70 rows and then you connect to the next bar. As you can imagine, you know, you connect there. And then when you finish doing it all the way around, that's one handle, you've got to do it twice. And then what you need to do is actually fold this over again, and you create another little like bar here, but it's the handle. So we'll make it very, very strong and sturdy. So the handle won't be this wide, it'll be this wide, which is wonderful, right? So in saying all that, I thought that this project would finish very, very quickly. As I said, to get to here, it's been about 7 hours, which is okay considering, you know, had to, you know, think hard about the Tunisian crochet, put all, you know, what I've learned, you know, all my lessons, like keeping the stitches a little bit looser to make sure, you know, that they don't all bunch up. The good thing is that it actually did turn out pretty good, I think, considering. And if it gets a little bit messy, you know, the loops at the top, don't worry because you sew them in. But again, you've got to be mindful how you're carrying the yarn up because you're carrying it up. So there's a lot of thought going into this. And then you have to actually make the strap. So in essence, there are how many components? 1 to create the whole bag, and then 2 to single crochet all the way around, 3 to make the bars, and 4 to make the straps. So, you know, this project is going to be a whip for a little while, but it is something that I want to finish because it is going to be a beautiful size bag. Now, learning all of this pattern means that you can actually customize this to be as small or as big as you want it. You can make a little purse size, or for a little, you know, person, they can have a little bag, or you can actually make it big. And I would line it if I made it much bigger, and actually have a really big like market bag type bag. But this is a gorgeous pattern, and the yarn is amazing. So overall, I am very, very happy with this release of week 4. I love everything that was in the bag, and I absolutely love the yarn. I have to say, if I ever get my hands on some of this, it is going straight into, you know, my stash. I think it would make a beautiful wearable as well because it is a very soft yarn. Now, we did use a 4mm hook for this one, as I mentioned earlier, but a 5mm hook would make it even drapier if you're creating a nice, you know, wearable. So keep that in mind, guys. So that's pretty much it. I think I've, you know, told you all the little bits and pieces that I needed to share with you. So I wonder how many of you have started your Camilla bag, because I know a lot of you are crocheting along as well. Some of you have actually, you know, let me know what you're up to and what your thoughts are. So please, please do share. And I would just like to let you all know that in about a week's time, you know, maybe that week where we're not sure what's going on in the world between Christmas and New Year, I might come on and do a little review on the whole Advent calendar, so all 4 weeks. I wonder how many of you would like to join me for that. I hope all of you. So, you know, like I said, please let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. And, you know, if you've worked with this yarn, what have you actually made with it? I'm very, very curious to know if you've made a wearable with it or something completely different. You could actually make a nice water bottle holder with this, you know, along the lines of, you know, a bag, I'm pretty sure. You might even make some super soft coasters. Anyway, there are a lot of things that we could make with it for sure, and maybe even on the Hobbii website we could get some other ideas because they're very good at putting out free patterns for us. So Tony, once again, thank you for another wonderful pattern and a great tutorial, and thank you to each and every one of you for cheering me along this long, because without you guys I've got no one to share this with. As I always say, my family does, you know, appreciate that I crochet, and you know, they do listen to what I have to say, but not like you guys. I love sharing it with you so much. So thank you once again. I hope you're all keeping well. It is this time of the year where I like to wish you a Merry Christmas, just in case I don't see you beforehand. However you're celebrating, I hope you have a great time. And until I see you all very, very soon, take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.